Assalamu alaikum students. Today I am going to revise with you the summative which is planned on 18th of October. First I will revise in this video with you the pure mathematics revision. As you all know, only chapter number 1 is included in this summative exam. So you can see some sample questions which we will revise today. Chapter number 1. Question number 1 is: there are two quadratic equations. First quadratic equation is very simple, in which the coefficient of x square is 6, and we always represent it as a. The coefficient of x is 11, which we always represent by b, and the coefficient of yani constant, basically it is always represented as c. This is equal to 0. It means this is a quadratic equation, and everyone knows quadratic equation can be solved by factorization by factorization can be done by calculator, can be done by completing the square method, and can also be done by using the quadratic formula. So there are four ways to solve any quadratic equation. Graphically, quadratic equation tells you where the graph cuts the x-axis. The solution of the quadratic equation tells you where the graph cuts the x-axis. All these things, inshallah, in this video we will be discussing, but the present question is just related to the use of calculator, and we try to solve it by factorization. We need to go to the menu and go to the polynomials, degree 2. Now enter the coefficient of x squared, which is 6, and then coefficient of x, which is 11. Enter. Then minus 35. Enter. The first answer comes to us. I call it critical value, 5 over 3. So we got x is equals to 5 over 3. Since x is written here, so all these solutions are equals to x. So one answer is 5 over 3. The second answer is minus 7 over 2. So guys, there are two solutions, two roots of this quadratic equation. One is x is equal to 5 over 3. The second one is minus 7 over 2x. Now, how do you solve it in the exam? You will write the equation first: 6x squared plus 11x minus 35 equals to 0. Leave some space between your working and the original question. Look, I found the answers. X is equals to 5 over 3. As you can see, I am leaving a space here in between. Intentionally, I am doing it. And the second answer, I got it. X is equals to minus 7 over 2. Now, can we convert all these two solutions in the factor form? The answer is yes. Multiply 3 with x, it gives you 3x, and send the 5 to the left. Minus 5 is equal to 0. So you need to try to make 0 on the right hand side. Same thing, you do it here. The 2 goes to this side, it becomes 2x, and then minus 7 will be shifted to the left, it becomes plus 7 equal to 0. Now I got two expressions on the left hand side and 0 on the right hand side. Now it is ready to write the two factors. What are the two factors? 3x minus 5 and 2x plus 7. If you want to write one more step, you can multiply the two brackets. So 3x times 2x gives you 6x squared. Then 3x times 7 is 21x. Then minus 5 times 2x is minus 10x. And minus 5 times 7 is minus 35 is equal to 0. Such type of factorization method is grouping because 11x was splitted into two forms, 21x minus 10x. And then after that, we grouped them together. How? We wrote 6x squared plus 21x. We took 3x common, and from minus 10x minus 35, we took something common, and then we got the result. But anyways, I have taught you factorization by the use of calculator. Second part is B, 20x squared plus 80 is equals to 82x. Now you can see the equation is not organized. First of all, we need to readjust this equation by shifting the term which is on the right hand side to come on left hand side after x squared, then 20x squared minus, because here it has a plus sign, now I'm going to write minus 82x plus 80 is equal to 0. Still this equation is not in a good form. Why? Because I can see every coefficient or the number which is seen here can be further simplified if we divide these numbers by 2. So if every number will be divided by 2, although it's not needed, but I'm saying if you do this process, it will make your equation much more simplified. So you get 10x squared, now 2 cancel, so you get 41, and this is cancelled, you get 40, and 0 divided by 2 is 0. Now I am ready to use my calculator. Enter 10, enter negative 41, then 40. Now calculator gives you one answer, 5 over 2. So I'm leaving some space in between them, and here I'm writing x is equals to 5 over 2. And the second root is x is equals to 8 over 5. Let me confirm. Yep, 8 over 5. Now the time has come to convert these two roots into factor form. So cross multiplication, 2x and 5 shifted to the left, minus 5 is equal to 0. Same thing applies here, 5x minus 8 is equal to 0. Now I write the two factors in a product form, 2x minus 5 and then 5x minus 8 is equal to 0. If you really want to multiply these two linear factors, you can do that. 10x squared minus 16x minus 25x and plus 40. So in fact, what did you do? You did you converted minus 41, or you splitted minus 41 into two terms, minus 16x minus 25x, and after that you applied the factorization technique. So these are the two, questions which I have solved, which shows that how can we solve any quadratic equation. Now the second one is, he said that we need to solve the inequality. Now solving inequality, you will use the same technique. How? Go to the calculator and write the coefficient of x squared, which is 1, enter, minus 3, enter, minus 4, enter, and what are the two answers? X is equal to 4 and x is equals to minus 1. So I got x is equals to 4 and x is equal to minus 1. These are the two critical values I have written. Can I convert them into the factor form? So the factor form is x minus 4 and x plus 1 greater than equals to 0, right? Now, these two answers, yani two roots, we can place them on the real line, as per their order. Yani -1 is smaller and 4 is bigger. Now, what do you need to do, guys? You need to take any test point, um, any number which is less than -1. Suppose I choose -2, and between -1 and 4, I'm choosing, pick any number, guys, 0, and I'm writing here 5. Can you plug this value, which is the test point, into the original inequality and check that which inequality is set, anywhere the inequality is satisfied? So take out your calculator and go back to the computing mod, bracket open, in the place of x, I'm going to put -2, bracket close, squared, -3, bracket open, and you write -2 in the place of x, and -4. Check here. Is the inequality satisfied? What is the answer I got? Is 6 greater than equal to 0? You said yes. 6 is greater than equal to 0. Mr. Omer, this inequality is satisfied. So yes, it is true. Now between -1 and 4, you pick 0. Now in the calculator where you wrote in the place of x -2, delete it and write 0 over there. Check what is the answer you got? -4. Do you think -4 is greater than equal to 0? No, negative numbers are not greater than equal to 0. So the answer is no. This region is not satisfied. So which region is satisfied? All the values of x which are less than -1. And now I'm going to pick 5, substitute it into the inequality. This is 5. Delete, it's 5. What is the answer I got? 6. And 6 is greater than equal to 0. Yes, it is satisfied. So two regions are satisfied. So what is the answer? I'll say x is less than equals to -1. My solution is, let me write it here down. X is less than equals to -1, or x is greater than equals to 4. These are the two solutions of this inequality. All the values of x which are less than -1, and all the values of x which are greater than equal to 4. By the way, in the class I have also told you, whenever greater than sign comes, we always get a fountain. Fountain means, yani, you have to take outside of the middle region. So this happens in quadratics always. Yani, if you take the extreme right side is okay, then the extreme left side will be okay. If extreme right side is not okay, then the extreme left side is not okay, and you will get the middle portion. And here the middle portion was not agreed with the solution. Let's go to the question number 3. Guys, you can check out, there is one problem which I actually want to highlight. You must always try to make the x square coefficient positive. Here the x square coefficient is negative. So we need to multiply the entire inequality with the -1 sign. When you multiply the entire inequality with -1, the whole signs of the terms will be changed and the face of the inequality will also be changed. So now you can check that this is -x squared, it becomes plus x squared. This is plus x, it changes to -x. This is plus 6, it changes to -6. This greater than sign changes to less than, and 0 has no sign. So imagine I multiplied the whole inequality with -1, and now it gives a beautiful look like this inequality. Now, as you can see in my last part, when we have greater than sign or greater than equal to, we get a fountain type of an answer. And if you have less than or less than equal to, you always get a sandwich answer. Sandwich means when you draw the inequality, when the two critical points are got. So this is basically the region which is satisfying. That's why I said less than equal to is always giving you a sandwich answer. Let me try to get the answer here by using the equation mod. Okay, and polynomial degree 2, enter 1, enter -1, and then again I go to -6. It gives me 3 and -2. So what are the critical points I got? 3 and -2. We go back, check is my answer right. Yeah, so in the factor form I write x minus 3 and x plus 2 less than 0. um, if you want to use the previous method which I have taught you, you place the critical values according to their sizes on the real line and then use the test points. Less than -2 is any number you can pick. For example, you pick -3. Between -2 and 3, the famous number is 0. Greater than 3, you pick 4. So these are the three test points you have chosen. You can substitute into the original inequality. What was your original inequality, guys? That was, let's go to the computing mod. So 6, sorry, the original inequality is bracket open close. I put -3, sorry, -3 bracket close squared minus bracket open close -3 -6. Okay, did you see I'm substituting it here and checking that what is my answer? Is my answer less than 0 or becomes greater than 0? Check it out. I got answer 6. Do you think 6 is less than 0? The answer is no. 6 is not less than 0. So this is no. So as you all guys know, if the answer is no, so this answer is also no. Definitely this answer will be yes. So what is the inequality? We are getting a sandwich inequality. How to write the sandwich inequality? All the values of x between -2 and 3. Do we need to write equal sign? No, because he is using less than sign. So the solution is this one. Didn't I say, guys, sandwich will come to you when there is a less or less than equal to? Here we were having less than sign and we got the answers. However, if you don't want to keep the fountain method or the sandwich method in your mind, you can use this test point technique, which is very good. No need to test every point, just pick one point. For example, if the fountain is one of the point in the fountain is okay and on the extreme left or right, yes yes, then you can write yes yes, and in the middle you can write no. But if no is written on the extreme left, you can easily write no on the right hand side, and in the middle you can write yes, like in this case we did it. Now in this case, guys, already factors are given. Imagine x, when x multiplied with 2x, it is giving you 2x squared. So you say, Mr. Omar, since the x squared has a positive sign, so we are very happy that this inequality we can easily solve. How can we solve it? What is the critical value we are going to get out of this? The critical value, when we put x plus 5 is equal to 0, it gives me x is equal to -5. And the critical value from 2x plus 1, when we put it equal to 0, it gives me x is equal to -1/2. Now two critical values we got, and this is less than equals to. I'm 100% sure that we are going to get a sandwich inequality answer. But if a student says no, I want to check, okay, no worries, you can draw the number line. Look at the sizes. This -5 is smaller and -1/2. You can pick any number. Where I'm gonna pick the number, I will pick the number here, the test point. Test point, I'm picking here 0. You can pick any test point, but I don't need it. I don't want to use this one. Just one test point, which is 0 on the right hand side, I will pick and substitute it into the original inequality. So look, I'm doing it manually. 0 plus 5 in the place of x, I'm putting it to 0 plus 1. It has to be less than equal to 0. Check that. Is it satisfied? 5 1 less than equal to 0. It gives me 5 less than. Is it 5 less than equal to 0? No. This region is no, so automatically this will be no, and so this is yes. So your answer is a sandwich between -5 and minus 1 over 2. How do you write it? Minus 5x. Oh, he's writing the equal sign here. So we need to write equal. Minus 5 less than equal to x, and x is less than equals to minus 1 over 2. So this is our solution of this inequality. Question number 5, if you see, guys, question number 5, we need to convert it into completing the square form. This is standard form. This is called standard form, and this is completing the square form. In completing the square form, if you want to convert it, that's pretty easy. I'm going to explain you this technique very quickly. How do we write it? The rule says whatever the coefficient you see, you write it outside, bracket open and close, right? And here you write x. This number 12 divided by 2, it gives you 6. Keep the same sign. Whatever you have written here, you have to divide it here. So 6 over 2, definitely it gives you what? It gives you 3. Okay, and now you copy here negative 3 squared times with the number 2 plus 1. Okay, now I'm going to write 2x minus 3 whole squared minus 9 times 2 is minus 18 plus 1, which gives you minus 17. Now those students who have this calculator, which I'm going to show it to you right now, ClassWiz calculator, they can also write completing the square form directly by the use of calculator. Okay, go to the equation mod. Look, I'm going to go to the equation mod. When I go to the equation mod, so go to the polynomial 2, coefficient of x squared is 2, enter. Coefficient of x is negative 12, enter. And constant is 1, enter. Okay, calculator will give you maybe imaginary answers, the two answers, or real answers, or one answer. Ignore it. For example, calculator is giving you first answer, a third answer. Okay, ignore it because it is telling you uh, the two roots of this equation where the graph cuts the x-axis. I'm not interested. Second answer, I'm not interested. When you press the equal sign third time, you will get something. X is equal to 3 minimum. Oh wow, the parabola is facing upward, the x value is 3. Basically the guy is giving you vertex, so please, this 3, you copy it as a vertex, so 3. Now the next press will give you the y coordinate, so the y coordinate is minus 17. Can you check, guys? Look, calculator is giving you 3 in the you know, factor form. 3 will be changed as x minus 3, and this minus 17, you write it here outside, and as you remember, 2 will be always written over here. So if a student writes the vertex from the calculator, he can easily complete the completing the square form. Again, I will explain. For example, a guy has a vertex from a calculator minus 4 7. From here he will write x plus 4 whole squared and plus 7. You need to check that. What is the coefficient of x squared given over there? That number has to be written here. Yani, you can just copy it. That will be easier for you to write the completing the square form. Anyways, next. In this case, you can check it out. First, it is not written in a good form. So we need to, this is not equal to 0. We cannot change the sign. We can readjust the equation. So minus x squared, I will write it first. And then I will write plus 4x. And then I write plus 3. Got it? Now apply the technique which I have taught you first of all from the calculator. Done? So are we ready? Yes. What is the coefficient of x squared? Negative 1. Enter. The coefficient of x is 4. Enter. The constant is 3. Enter. Ignore the first value. Ignore the second value because these are the roots. I'm not solving the quadratic equation. I want to write the vertex. Okay. The third stroke will give you, because the graph is facing down, it's a parabola, and the vertex x coordinate is 2. So let me copy 2, and next will give you 7. Wow, I got the vertex. If I know the vertex, can I write the completing square form. This 2 will be written in the factor form as x minus 2 whole squared. And this 7, I'm going to copy outside. What was the coefficient of x squared, boys? It's minus 1. Wow. So I'm going to copy minus 1 here. If you don't want to write the minus first and you want to write 7 well, as he did it here, so you write 7 and then minus x minus 2 whole squared. Can I compare? This q is basically 7 and this p is equals to minus 2. So we got the values of p and q. In fact, I have converted complete standard form into completing the square form. Question number 7, he says solve the quadratic equation. I can solve the quadratic equation easily by using any technique, formula method, or I can use completing the square method. Here he restricted us to use the completing the square form. So what I'm going to do, I need to convert this expression into completing the square form. Now completing the square form, I can use calculator. Okay, if I don't want to use calculator, I just want to explain you one more time. How did I teach you to do it manually? 1 outside, x, what is the half, guys, of 3? That is minus 1.5 whole squared. Then minus 1.5 squared times 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. If a student wants to use calculator, I have already explained it to you. Can I just simplify what is this? I can use calculator by converting into the computing mode. Minus 1.5 squared minus 1 gives you basically minus 3.25. So my friends, Mr. Omar is gonna write x minus 1.5 whole squared minus mm, 3.25 is equal to 0. I'm going to send it to the right hand side. So x minus 1.5 whole squared, this has gone to the right, 3.25. Now send the square to the other side. X minus 1.5 with plus minus square root of 3.25. Can I take the square root? So the square root of 3.25 will give me how much? Uh, it's square root of 13 over 2 if I can write it as. So x minus 1.5 is equal to plus minus square root of, come on, square root of 13 over 2. Can I send minus 1.5 to the other side? So x is equal to 1.5 plus minus square root of 13 over 2. He wanted the answer in which form? Wow, we got the answer. But you will say, Mr. Omar, he has written full square root. That's not a big deal. I can write it as 1.5 plus minus square root, full square root of 13 over 4, because the square root of 4 is 2. So without square root, if you want to write it, you can write 2. Otherwise, if you want to write the full square root, then you should write square root of 15 over 4. That's the final answer. Now we go to the question number 5. He says solve quadratic equation. He did not restrict us to use only completing the square. We can use the formula method. So let's try to use formula method. But before that, you need to readjust it and send everything on the left hand side. Identify the coefficients. So your A is 2, your B is -5, and your C is 1. This is a quadratic equation in which variable in a variable x. So x is equals to negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac whole over 2a, and now substitute minus b is -5 plus minus b squared -5 whole squared minus 4a c over 2a. Now you guys should use calculator because examiner knows that you are familiar with quadratic formula. So I'm gonna use coefficient of x squared is 2, enter, -5, enter, and 1, enter. What is the first answer? In a third form, I got it. X is equal to 5 plus square root of 17 over 4. Definitely the second answer will be, the radical sign will have a negative sign. So minus 17 over 4. So these are the two solutions which we got it from the calculator. But I know you will say, Mr. Omar, he was asking the answer not in third form. He is willing to get the answer in two decimal places. Don't worry. I need to press SD sign of the calculator. It will convert it into decimals. So 2.28, this is 2.28 to the 2 dps. And may I get the second answer, which is 0.22. X is equal to 0.22 to the 2 decimal places. So these are the two solutions, or the x-intercepts we have found from this question. Now he gave you x power 4. So this is not a quadratic, but this is disguised. Sorry. This is a disguised quadratic equation. In disguised quadratic equation, what happens? It behaves like a quadratic. Just focus on the middle power. The middle smallest power of x is x squared. Solve this equation in the same way by substituting in the place of x squared as y. So it will turn into y squared minus 5y plus 4 is equal to 0. Now you get your answer by using calculator. Enter 1, enter -5, enter 4. What is the first answer? 4. So y is equals to 4. And second answer is y is equal to 1. But you remember your y was equal to what? That was equal to x squared is equal to 4. And x squared is equal to 1. Now send the square to the other side with plus minus sign. The square root of 4 is 2. And x is equal to plus minus. The square root of 1 is 1. So you got 4 answers. Plus minus 2 and plus minus 1. So in fact, this quadratic equation, when you try to solve it, its graph will cut the x-axis 4 times. Now we have another disguised quadratic equation, but we need to organize it. So 2x minus 3x cubed minus 8 is equals to 0. Now we have to replace x cubed by y. Okay, so automatically, why it is disguised? Because 3 multiplied with 2 gives you x power 6. Such type of equations are called disguised equations, and we replace them by y in terms of y. So it turns into 2y squared minus 3y minus 8 is equal to 0. Let me try to use my calculator. Enter 2, enter -3, enter -8. Let's check what is the answer. From the calculator, we got 3 plus square root of 73 over 4. So y is equals to 3 plus square root of 73 over 4. And the second is y is equal to 3 minus square root of 73 over 4. We want to get the answer to the 2 decimal places. You remember, guys, this is cube. X cube is equal to 3 plus square root of 73 over 4. And y is equals to, no, not y equals to, I should write x cube is equals to 3 minus square root of 73 over 4. Now, when the cube goes to the other side, do you know that? What is the opposite of cube? The opposite of cube is cube root, boys. And cube root, you write it like this. So 3 plus square root of 73 over 4. And here is x is equals to a cube root of 3 minus square root of 73 over 4. We can easily write it in the calculator. Go back to the computing mod. How to write the cube root? Look, I'm gonna write cube root and then fraction 3 plus square root of 73 over 4, and I'm gonna get my answer in 2 decimal places. So 1.42 is my answer. 1.42 to the 2 decimal places. Same thing, guys. Replace the plus sign with the minus sign and check what is the answer. Minus 1.11. Minus 1.11 to the 2 decimal places. Next, question number 11, guys. We need not to solve the quadratic equation, just we need to highlight that what would be the nature of the quadratic equation's roots. Yani, in the lessons I told you, any quadratic equation, when you try to solve it, it behaves in 3 ways. Number 1, it gives you 2 different or distinct real roots which calculator is capable of giving you on the display. Sometimes you get 2 answers, but both answers are same, so I will call it one real root. You can call it as one repeated real root. And the third case is we get two answers, but both answers are imaginary and they're not real. So no real solution, but imaginary solutions will come to you. Who will tell all these situations? There is one factor, very, very important factor, which will provide this information to me, and that factor is called b square minus 4ac. So for this quadratic equation, I will just find b square minus 4ac. If b square minus 4ac is positive, then it means that this quadratic equation, without solving, you can say it will have two different real roots. If the quadratic equation, the b square minus 4ac is 0, then you say that we will get only one solution. Yani this parabola will be touching the x-axis only. And in the first part, the parabola will be cutting the x-axis at 2 points. In the next part, if guys you can see, if the discriminant is negative, if the discriminant is negative, then the parabola will be above the x-axis. Yani your parabola will not cut the x-axis, then you don't get any real solutions. So the whole nature of quadratic equation depends upon the signs of b square minus 4ac. Now in this case, I'm trying to find b square minus 4ac, any minus 3 whole squared minus 4ac. Check it out, it is 9 minus 20 and this is minus 11, and is it less than 0? It means that the roots of this equation are not real. They are two imaginary answers. Now in this case, 1 squared minus 4a, and this is minus 6, and 1 plus 12 times 6 is 72, so 73. It is greater than 0, so you are going to get two different real roots. And if we come to the third question, so 20 squared minus 4, 25, and 4. I think, guys, both of them will be cancelled and you get the 0 answer. When you get the discriminant 0, it means you are going to get one repeated or one equal real roots. Okay, so this is the situation. Now we got to go to the question number 12. It looks like simultaneous equations. One is quadratic and the other one is linear. We need to put them equal to each other. Any x squared minus 3x minus 1, we put it equals to 2x minus 7 and try to create a quadratic equation out of it. So send 2x minus 7 to the left. Minus 2x plus 7 is equal to 0. So x squared minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Now this quadratic equation will give us two answers. Enter 1, enter negative 5, enter 6. It gives you 3 and 2. So x is equals to 3 and x is equal to 2. We can substitute these values back here to get the value corresponding values of y. So y is equal to 2, 3 minus 7, y is equals to 2, 2 minus 7. So y equals 6 minus 7, so y will give you minus 1. So first solution is bracket 3 comma minus 1. So this is x coordinate and this is the y coordinate. Next, y is equals to 4 minus 7, y gives you minus 3. So I'm going to use this x and y to write a complete point. X coordinate 2 and y is minus 3. It tells me what? Graphically, it tells me there is a parabola and there is a line. So this is line and this is a parabola. So what is the relationship between the parabola and the line? Since we got the 2 points of intersection, the first point is 3 minus 1, suppose, and this is 2 minus 3, the x coordinate and the y coordinate when you draw it on x-axis and y-axis. I hope it clears to everyone. Question number 12. Now, question number 13, interestingly, again, it's a linear equation, and this one is a quadratic equation. So what I need to do, I will try to make x as a subject here. I can make y as a subject or x as a subject, but here in this case, I will try to make x as a subject. So 3 plus y. Now substitute this thing in the place of x. Now when you do this, guys, so it turns into y squared plus x is what? 3 plus y, and then y, then 4, 3 plus y is equal to 7, and then open the brackets, y squared plus 3y plus y squared plus 12 plus 4y minus 7 is equal to 0. Simplify. 2y squared plus 7y, and 12 minus 7 is plus 5 is equal to 0. Let's try to get the values of y. Enter 2, enter 7, and enter 5. It gives you y is equals to minus 1, and second value is y is equals to negative 5 over 2. Can I plug these values? Can I plug these values here one by one? So x is equals to 3 plus minus 1. So x is equal to 2. X is equals to 3 plus minus 5 over 2. So it gives you x is equal to 1 over 2. Let me write the points. So first point is x coordinate 2 and the corresponding y coordinate is minus 1. X coordinate is half and the y coordinate is minus 5 over 2. Next question, 14th. We need to write the yani it's basically sketching. So in sketching, the most important thing in the standard form is the last number 10. This is the y-intercept where the graph cuts the y-axis and the coefficient is positive. It means the parabola is facing up. So imagine guys, the parabola is facing up and it cuts the y-axis at 10. These are the two informations which we can extract from the standard form. The rest of the information, the most important information, comes from the vertex. You remember guys, from here the vertex is minus pq. This is the vertex and I want to get that vertex. Can I convert it into completing the square form? All of you remember how do we do this? So x squared minus 6x plus 10, the rule which I have taught you. Look at the coefficient of x. You need to divide by 2. When you divide it by 2, it gives you minus 3. So I'm going to open bracket square x minus 3 and now write minus 3 squared plus 10. You copy it from here. So x minus 3 whole squared minus 9 plus 1 plus 10 is plus 1. You can do this completing the square form as I have already taught you from the calculator. Now what is your vertex y? Your vertex is 3. Change the sign, x minus 3. So you write here 3 and 1. Wow. Now I can easily complete my parabola. Where is 3? This is 3 and this is 1. Right. Where the parabola cuts the y-axis, it is cutting at 10. Alhamdulillah. Now I have this point. I will draw like that. And in this way, I draw the right flap of this parabola. I just want to draw the line of symmetry if you want it. X is equals to 3 is your line of symmetry and your minimum point, the vertex is 3, 1. That's the beautiful sketch of this graph. If you want to do this question, guys, again, let me copy it. But in a beautiful form. It's not an equation, guys. Don't look at the left, but just readjust it. I will write minus 2x squared, then minus 8x plus 3. Wow. What is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is 3. The y-intercept is 3. And minus 2 means the parabola is facing down. Now let me convert it into completing the square form. Hurry up, boys. Come on, come on, come on. Square x minus, what is divided by 2? It gives you minus 4. Okay, divided by minus 2 because there is a number here, minus 2. So can I cancel them? It gives you what? Plus 2. Write it here, minus 2 squared times with the number outside, minus 2 plus 3. And then can I copy here minus 2? Don't forget it. So x plus 2 whole squared plus 8 plus 8 plus 3 plus 11. Now I'm gonna draw the parabola. The vertex is, change the sign, minus 2 and this is 11. Where is minus 2? This is minus 2 and that is 11. Where the graph cuts the y-axis, it cuts at 3. It cuts at 3. Wow. Now I'm gonna draw the parabola, left flap, and this is the right flap. So your graph is parabola is being sketched. That's the thing which we wanted to do this. So we found the vertex also. Thank you, boys. Assalamu alaikum.